Okay, so for this Persona 5 the Phantom X video, we're going to talk about 10 of the best units for you guys to build when Global comes out in about 2 days time. I'm going to be making a lot of Persona content. I've got 3 videos scheduled today and tomorrow, so expect a lot to come. I actually, from what I've seen, from what I've played with, I've really enjoyed this game. And if you are a Persona lover or even just a gacha lover in general, especially for more side gachas, I think this game is a perfect fit for you. So like and subscribe if you want more Persona content. You guys, honestly, with the 3 videos I've made so far, the Persona players that have already been playing have been very welcoming, so thank you guys. Now, this is going to be a general list, and for example, maybe you have Anne, but you don't have Luffle, right? In that case, maybe another unit is going to be good instead. So this is top 10 overall, but of course, it's going to depend, first of all, on your account, and in general, just different team comps, but in most instances, you could consider these 10 of the best. However, a couple more could come into the mix, and this is meant to be a guide of some of the best to kind of get you situated to what the meta is looking like on launch. That's the most it should be. Understand some of these kits. I hope you guys by the end of this video at least understand some of them. So let's get into it. This is not necessarily going to be ranked in order, but you could kind of take it from best to worst, but not exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but maybe like the first couple are better than the last couple. Now, in terms of DPS, Joker is just pretty much the best to do it AoE. He is a very, very good person who's able to get extra turns when he actually gains Fury stacks. So basically, when he finishes a turn, he gets an extra Fury stack, and he could get multiple, because especially AoE, they're going to start stacking up, because the more enemies below 60%, the more Fury stacks he gets per turn. And he's going to get up to 5 stacks. Then, when it is his turn, and he's not in his extra turn, he gets an extra turn, right? So he could do 2 turns in a row. And why this is good is 2 things. If you have 5 stacks, you're going to get a big damage or attack increase of 90%, right? Am I counting right? Yes, it's going to be a 90% attack increase, but if you're in the extra turn, you're also going to get an extra 72% damage increase. Now, why this boy works is because he has his ult doing pretty decent damage, but you could say it's a bit on the lower side, because, for example, someone like Ryuji is doing 400%. However, first of all, Joker has his extra turn, and also this is AoE. Gotta keep that in mind. But then his extra turn, which remember has the damage increase, is also going to do more damage increase if it is the extra damage, and then also more if they have the debuff. So then this 74% is multiplied by this, and this. So his damage starts to get crazy AoE. So if you need an AoE DPS, Joker is your guy. And what's good is that he does not need his 5-star weapon. So he's going to be a pretty good build. You get the character, and he's pretty much already set up just by that. So I'm going to say he is pretty much the best, or one of the best DPSs in the game. So Seiji is also going to be very good. Now, he might require dupes. However, he is a 4-star. So you have to keep that in mind. He is a 4-star, but still, I feel like he really gets value with his 5th dupe especially. So let's explain his kit. So he's basically gonna get a bit of extra value by applying this Winded debuff. And Winded is going to make the enemy's defense lower, I think by 12%. And this is going to be good because then it's also going to allow you to get some other stuff going. Specifically, also, there's going to be another debuff that he's going to have. So the main thing is he's going to revolve around something called Resolve. And Resolve is going to let you get an extra hit here, right? And also an extra hit, and also more crit rate, and then extra stats, right? So he's going to get a lot of good stuff. But his damage, more single target, is going to be good. And one of the things is when he's dupe 5, and he has the Resolve stacks, he has a 100% chance to inflict Winded, which is going to allow him to really lower their defense a little more, which is definitely going to be good. But then at A6, he also has a higher chance to apply Resolve, and the Resolve obviously is going to give him the extra attack, the extra speed, and then also going to let him get those extra parts of his kit, like also getting the extra hit. So his damage is going to be more so centered single target. He's able to lower the enemy's defense and also get extra hits and have pretty good crit chance, including the fact when he has Resolve up, right? So, you know, also because of the fact that his A1, his first dupe, is going to give him up to a 20% crit rate increase, he's going to start going crazy, especially with this skill 3, which is going to already get the crit rate increase, maybe on top of another crit rate increase. It's going to get crazy if you could really start adding all these things up. But I think he's someone that's going to need a couple more dupes to really work effectively, all things considered. Now then, Luffle is actually very good. If you get him, be happy, because he's going to be a perfect partner for Anne. So how this guy's going to work is he's going to be able to do some sustain. So he's going to be able to heal, okay? Continue healing, increase healing effect, heal, right? So it's like you're going to do a lot of healing. However, what you're also going to do is increase attack, right? And then do more healing, which is going to be good. And then you're going to give Star Fire, which is going to increase attack, right, which is going to be huge, right? So the attack increase alongside attack increase. And then furthermore, if they have Starfire, it's also going to further increase effect hit rate, so a higher chance for you to apply the debuffs, right? And then at dupe 5 is when he gets really crazy. At dupe 6, like a lot of these 4 stars to be really good do need their dupes. However, you're going to get them over time. And you also get more pulls than your average Hoyoverse game. So the chance to really dupe these out is going to be higher also when you consider that in. But yeah, he's going to also be able to increase fire damage. And then alongside the attack increase, alongside the other attack increase, alongside a bigger fire damage increase when you get to Starfire 3, right? It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. So the heals are going to let you get more attack in, and it's all going to be very good. So he's able to really buff a lot of different stats, mainly attack and fire, but he's doing it so much that with another fire DPS, he is really, really good. Now, in terms of actual like debuffing, you do not get better than this on launch, okay? It's pretty much impossible. So Yao Ling, I think in game, what is it? Meng Po, right? You're gonna be getting quite the good debuffs. So what is she doing necessarily? Well, one of the things is that she's gonna be increasing the amount of damage the enemies take, but not only that, oh, by the way, did I say she's also increasing more the damage the enemies take? And by the way, also decreasing the enemy's defense, right? And then also increasing damage dealt, but that is, I'm pretty sure, for herself, so I'm sorry, I am sorry. Now, what is very cool is alongside the Mengpo Soup debuff, what it's going to also do is apply Forget. Now, what is Forget? It's silence, so they can't use any of their skills, usually besides skill 1. I'm going to imagine it works like that in this game too, but let me just do a quick confirmation on that, just so I'm not tweaking. But I'm pretty sure it's going to work the same way. Unable to use their skills. There you go. So Forget is going to be very, very strong in this game. And then, of course, increase their damage taken. Why not? Once again, up to 33.6%. So as a debuffer, she's going to be very strong. And then also work pretty nice as a kind of sub DPS where she's going to be able to increase her attack up to 90%. And then also do damage when they're below, or sorry, over 50% HP. So damage increase for herself, which is going to be decent, and then especially work well with Joker as they're both cursed units, so or cursed typing. So they're going to be able to work well and also just go crazy on a mono typing in the future. So keep that in mind. And then also the Forget chance does go up, which is very nice. So, I mean, listen, all I'm saying, in terms of debuffs, she lowers defense, lowers damage incredibly, and also applies this game's silence. And yeah, it's going to be good. Very good. Now, we cannot forget the Navigators, and Miyu is one of the 2 Navigators on launch. Now, Navigators, remember, they just give a stat increase, and you're going to need to run the Navigator, so this is going to be huge. Now, she is going to be doing quite a lot of shields, right? She's mainly going to be a defense increase unit, okay? So also increasing attack, but, you know, defense increase, attack increase, giving shields, giving these stats also, and of course also giving a bit of extra damage dealt here. So, you know, she is going to be pretty good. Now, the thing is, you only get a big damage increase when she is A6, but when she is A6, she's going to be very good for most content. So yeah, you're going to need to run her. She's only going to have these support skills, so she is obviously going to be very good. Navigators are going to work to just basically use their off-field support, essentially. Right now, Anne is just a phenomenal unit, phenomenal. She as a DPS does not fall off pretty much almost at all long term. So in terms of long term investment, she's good, and in short term also, especially if you have good dupes in Luffel. Remember, Luffel is going to give fire damage, and guess what? Anne is a fire DPS, so she's going to be doing AoE damage, also increasing her own damage, right? Also having a good heal actually, which is huge, because having a heal on your DPS also allows it so that you could run more offensive supports, debuffers, and sustain in general. So keep that in mind. And then also listen, more damage increase, and then another AoE. So in terms of AoE damage, it's going to be quite good with her. And then when you add Luffel into the mix for right now, it is definitely going to be fire. You see what I did there? And then she's also able to get stacks when they take fire damage to the enemies. And remember, that also could help with Luffel, right? But I think it's mainly only on the skill 1, I guess. So there is that. Wrong person. And then you could get a bigger buffs here. So she's gonna have a lot of buffs, right? Keep that in mind, that there's gonna be a lot of buffs that are gonna go active. So she is overall gonna be very good. I'm not going to really count the dupes, but if you get that dupe 1, this could be pretty crazy. Just a nice little 17% attack buff. Now, Morgana. This is one unit that I think many people are debating at the moment if they're on the same tier as Luffel or not. But from what I'm seeing, the overall discussion is that Morgana is a bit worse for the fact that it may be over sustains and there's too much sustain, where Luffel is also going to give nice damage increases. Now, while you can also lower their hit rate, right, which is pretty good and all that good stuff, he's mainly going to be doing healing. Okay, that's the main thing. That is the main thing. Now, cool, decrease SP cost, that's fine, but for the most part it is just a lot of sustain. Now, the sustain can be good, especially early on. If you get Morgana, it's not bad, but it won't give as much stat increases. But he does have a res, he's going to have good heals, right? So keep that in mind. His heals are going to be very good. He's going to be able to put some debuffs, and overall is going to be able to keep you alive pretty much 100% of the time, but going to have less stat buffs, especially at dupe 0. Then we got Leo Kamiya. Now, he actually has very good stuff. He's able to do a lot of attack buffs, right? So attack buff here, I think a damage buff, right? And then also a shield. So in terms of actual buffs, he's going to be really good. If you need an attack buffer, then this is your guy, all things considered. Now, Activate is also going to further increase actual attack, right? Activate does increase attack. If we want to check the actual what it does here, basically increase attack and gain activate when an ally's HP is not higher than 75%. So you're going to get some really good stuff from that. So keep that in mind. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of attack buffs, and then here also very good, you're gonna get crit damage, right? You're gonna buff crit damage, right? So 45% crit damage buff, especially when you're counting that with Ryuji, is insane. And then, oh, let's say you get him dupe 6, more crit damage, and then more crit damage. So 25 25 45. Just imagine, that's like 95% crit damage on Ryuji, who has guaranteed crits. Just imagine, free 95% just like that. Absolutely insane. Then we got Kaio Tomiyama. She is also a navigator. Now, in more boss content, she's going to work better because she does actually buff damage, and then also more here, and then also more here. And the SP buff, you're not going to use much. It's mainly going to be this skill. But having the stat buff is nice. Also giving a damage buff here, right? So keep that in mind. And you're also going to give some different types of buffs, so either attack, defense, or effect hit rate. So all these things considered, like, she's going to be good. She's going to be more on the DPS side, right? Because she has an increased attack here, increased damage here. So she's going to be more of a damage increaser with, what's it called? Miyu is going to be more for that sustain, but it's going to depend. Because, for example, maybe you're going to need Miyu in content where you don't have Morgana and you're running Luffel. And in that case, maybe you want that extra sustain. But for boss content, then obviously Kaio is going to be better if you're trying to get a bigger kind of nuke in for the bosses. 1000%. She's going to be better. She's going to give her stats, give the damage increase, and you're just going to be good to go in those cases. Now, honestly, Ryuji is someone I'm really excited to use because Ryuji is going to be very, very good. Okay, so basically how he works. All right, let's explain it right now. So his ult is going to do big damage, 400%. Remember, like I said, Joker's was low only because Ryuji exists, and it's 400%. Now, why he's going to be very good is because then you're going to be able afterwards to use your skill 2. And remember, this is going to increase damage of your next skill by 58%. And this is almost the same amount, 341%. Keep that in mind. Now, it's going to cost his own HP to use, but when you have Rebound active, which if we see here, wait, sorry. Where actually do you get it? So when you're lower than 75% HP, you're going to gain the effect of Rebound, which is going to also increase damage of your next skill and increase crit rate. So if you time it well, how this could work is you ult, you get hit, get below 75%, then you're going to get this extra damage, then you're going to have Rebound, it's going to be a guaranteed crit, and then, of course, it's 340% with this damage increase, and then also you're going to heal after using Rebound, and also, if you do get low enough, you're also going to get a attack increase if your HP is lower than the enemies. So that is going to be really good. This kind of like combo together, the amount of damage you could do single target in boss is going to be, especially for guild boss and stuff like that, is going to be very, very, very good. And then long term, there's also going to be units that could give him extra turns, which is then going to allow him to use his ult and then skill 3 in the same turn. And considering everything, he is going to be very, very good in terms of single target damage, right? Being able to ult, get a damage increase, have that skill 3, be a guaranteed crit. If you get low enough, it's going to be crit crazy. Ryuji is going to be a very, very fun unit to use. So that's going to be it for my top 10. Let me know what other units besides the one I actually mentioned you would like to build. And also in the list that I did mention, which would you like to build the most? Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned how some of these kits work. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.